Welcome to Creative Tian channel. We are going to start a series for beginning machine knitters. And today is the first video. We are going to start with cast on. And we are going to demonstrate on LK150. And in the future, we'll go through all the basic stitches and the basic machine knitting techniques. Most of them are interchangeable in different knitting machines. We will start with cast on, and in the future we will do cast off, increase, decrease, and different stitches you can make on the knitting machine. These tutorials can be a refresher if you cannot remember some of the techniques. Today we'll show a very simple cast on method. That's with the waste yarn and ravel cord, and then we will do an E-rub cast on. So we will need two contrasting color yarns. One is the waste yarn, one is your main yarn. And it's better if they are about the same thickness. It doesn't have to match, but the matching thickness will make it easier to knit. I have my waste yarn, that's a gray color, and I have a pink color for my main yarn. For the ravel cord, it's usually a nylon cord or anything smooth, and many people like to use cotton thread, so it's very smooth. You can pull it out easily. Thread your yarn properly, going through the first hole here, up through the dial here. You can push this one and place the yarn under the little projection there, and then go through the loop here, go up to the top, and then pull down the yarn. When you are not using it, you can clip to here. I have my waste yarn on the left and main yarn on the right. And pull out as many needles as you need. Each color has 10 needles. I have 30 needles out for now. The easiest way is to start with every other needle for the waste yarn cast on. So we put back every other needle to A position. And the needles we are going to use will be in the D position. And you can use a needle pusher to save time. We are going to start with waste yarn. Place the yarn here and make sure carriage is set for plain knitting. And depends on the thickness of the yarn, you can adjust the tension. If you're not sure, you can always start with 5 or 6. I will add some weight at the end of the yarn, and then we'll start knitting. That's our first row, and we'll have to hang some weight. You can also use a claw weight, especially around the edges. Now we can move all needles to the B position. That's the working position. And then we'll continue knit a few rows. After a few rows, we can cut off the yarn and clip the yarn end so it doesn't get caught when you knit the next few rows. Next, we are going to knit our ravel cord. I have my ravel cord on a piece of cardboard. You can cut a piece of ravel cord just long enough for one row, and you can reuse later. I place the ravel cord in the carriage, and I hold it with my left hand, or you can use a clip to keep it down. And then just move the carriage to the other side to knit one row. You don't have to thread the ravel cord through the mast. You can do that if you like to. And again, I place a clip on the end of the ravel cord so it doesn't fly up easily. Now we are ready to place the main yarn in the carriage. And you can start knitting just like that, but this will be an open cast on. That means the first row of knitting will have live stitches. If you want closed stitches, you can do the E-rub cast on. And check the tension mast before you knit. If the tension is too loose, the antenna goes up and without a curve. We want to make sure there's a curved line for the antenna so it's not too loose or too tight. You can adjust by pulling down the yarn below. I usually like to do my E-rub cast on from left to right, so I want to move my carriage to the right side. And to do that, you just push down the knob on the top and lift up the carriage. After you put it in the right place, just release the lever on the top. To do the E-rub, we pull out all the needles all the way to the D position. And just start wrapping the yarn like writing the cursive letter E. And at the same time, use your left finger to push back all the knittings. And we don't want to make it too tight or too loose. If it's too tight, it's very difficult to knit the next row. After the last E-rub, just place the yarn to the carriage, check the tension dial, check the mast tension, so there's a curved line on top of the tension mast. Now we can just move the carriage to the left side and back to the right side to knit the plain stockinette stitch. After each row, you can check the edge stitches. Sometimes it can get a little bit loose, so you can adjust it by hand to make sure all needles are in the right positions. And go slowly, there's no need to rush. Now we are going to remove the ravel cord. You can just pull out the ravel cord from one side. The waste yarn will fall out. You don't have to knit the ravel cord, but it is much easier with ravel cord to separate the waste yarn. If you don't want to start with waste yarn and ravel cord, you can also do the E-rub directly. Just pull out the needles you need and start E-rub. And then hand some weight and you can start knitting. But the first few rows will be more difficult to knit and it's harder to keep even. Handing the weight will be also more difficult, but this is a quick way to start a project. The sample on the top is the direct E-rub cast on. The one on the bottom is with waste yarn and ravel cord. We are going to show you different ways of casting on next time. I hope you like this video. Thank you for watching and don't forget to subscribe.